Attention gamers. Can anyone explain this situation real quick for me? Last time I went mid I had this clearly bimbo of a blonde support. It felt like every minute Rift Alexa was announcing her lack of brain cells. If I would come back to lane without being greeted by a Deadpool cosplaying douche canoe I would ping missing, then I would ping danger, then I would verbally announce is pending arrival south, but that dumb star-spangled moron would still die. Then she makes an appearance in my lane as if I asked her to try and make farming creeps harder, but I think oh okay, if she's gonna be in my lane I might as well take advantage of the 2v1 by going in only for her to turn her brain on airplane mode and sit there AFK typing to her ADC while I die in front of her. So then I appropriately call her a f***ing whore and somehow I'm the bad guy in all this? Today we are following LeBron James' strategy for success.
My wife is not enjoying what I do on a day-to-day basis inside the bubble. Getting ready for a game, let's just say that.
Semen retention on Tristana. You see typically her auto attacks look like this. But if you start jizz maxing you can rush a voltaic cyclosword which gives you bust yo nut passive number 1 when fully charged. Then second we have the wild arrows that give you attack speed upon first hit. This pairs with a charged up skeet lightning Lenny as well as your Q and hail of blades. 1 2 3 4 5 you prep them all up without using any of them aka Semen retention Tristana, and then your engagements go from this to this. And rumor has it in addition to getting extremely fed, Andrew Hubby Dubby Moan also says that it
will increase testosterone levels up to 400%.
Alright, so if you want you can go bot lane and enjoy being 6 levels behind solo laners all game, or you can roll mid when you'll run into the gaping a-hole players who are just picking the newest champs in league because they watched Arcane even though they don't have an Asmung Gold and a Jim's clue what the hell is going on, so I eat their only cooldown and then play a bit of leapfrog for an easy solo bolo. This pattern repeats where I abuse them for making mistakes more than an alcoholic stepfather, like every time I see them lob the swirling meatball at my midgets I treat it like a green traffic light to do a front flip of my rabbit nuts right onto her pending dead ass head. Being mid also puts me in a good spot to rotate when there are custody wars over objectives, like when I see my jungler take down Darius and then get stuck dealing with Katy Perry in her astronaut suit. I can try super hard to steal the kill for myself. Then as I am continuing to risk being pegged as a racist mid, I'm learning that every time I flip she insta reflects, which teaches me that I actually impregnate myself with the bomb, but also it doesn't matter because she doesn't know how to stop, drop or apparently roll. This predictable behavior out of this possible NPC I'm laning against shows I can evolve, as the next time I jump on her I will just hold my bomb for 1 second and then I let her show why busting a nut early is bad before blowing a bitch up once again. But you may have noticed during the Mel Murder Marathon mid that the rest of my team is dying more than an OnlyFans girl's career options, and one peek down south does confirm that it's a case of the bonobo ape teammates for the 6 millionth time. But with that said, I'm still more fed than Joey Chestnut after deep-throating 70 hot dogs, and I've finished my first semen retention item, which means when Dunk Master Douche Canoe decides to go all in I can show him that with just a bit of retention when I do bust the nut it has an impact. Then Mel comes in acting like she and her illiterate stubs for fingers are going to do anything other than contribute to the Make a Fed Rav Foundation. I then take a quick trip up north hoping to finish a round of funding for my next item in this strategy to hold back the sausage tears until the time is right, and after killing Grumpy Gramps but then failing to overcome a vengeful Katy Perry I figure at least it's a free kill for my Teemo, who reminds me that the phrase an enemy is legendary was played on repeat at my dopamine's funeral 10 years ago when I decided to start playing this godforsaken game. I do make the mistake of hitting the gas pedal on my ult prematurely, which ends up being the get out of free jail card, but then I'm just like a barking chihuahua showing that I am willing to fuck around until it's time to find out with anyone who wants to compare dick girth, knowing damn well eventually I would cross paths with the enemy Jin, who has been getting spoon fed by 2 Tide Pod eaters down there all game. After the useless nepotism hire at the Piltover Sheriff's Department dies for the 65th time, they are just 18-minute ramming the bot lane, and so while I bust a retained nut on Gramps, that's all I can do without getting counted on by a legendary Jin. This fight does extend because my teammates want to show how many different ways they can die in front of me while I'm playing DDR myself within the sniping range, but I survive long enough to shit a turd in my hand and whip it at Katy Perry to make the fight slightly less one-sided. Surprise of the century, all the lil gups wanted to quit because that's all they do in life, but I said no because I now had 4 of 5 components to a proper Andrew Huberman semen retention strategy, and you can see by how fast the angry amputee died that it had potential, and with the last jizz sprinkler I had completed the build. This would be just what I needed to win us our first team fight. And with the items prepped 1 2 3 4 5, I would just wait for picks and unload all at once. Somehow, despite picking people off, my entire team was all still managing to find their way back to Fountain while contributing absolutely nothing to society, and I had to choose which path to defend and subsequently bust a retained nut onto, so I chose the pop star astronaut who spent 7 minutes in space. Anyways, the power of retention was obvious, as you can see the front-loaded burst potential I had on even bruisers, but unfortunately you give a Jin 37 kills for free because you don't know how to use a computer properly, and my first introduction to immense before I could say holy fuck this game sucks, green eggs and ham, and before my brief timeout concluded I was stuck looking at red on my screen before once again remembering that there is no I in team but there are 4 I's in inting idiots. I decided to get the taste of incompetence out of my mouth by running it back in a stomp, where you can see the power of starting the semen retention build. So if you want to vibe out to a full game with the same strategy, as I know some people are asking for unedited content, you can see how it typically plays out.
I'm gonna record some ambience and put it in this track.